Well, folks, if you thought that kidnapping and torture case was bad enough, wait till you see how the Young Turks covered it.
Chicago police have filed or charged 4 black individuals with a hate crime after a Facebook Live video showed evidence of these people torturing a mentally disabled man as he was bound. Now, the 4 people shown in a Facebook video attacking a mentally disabled man were cutting his scalp with a knife and punching him while yelling obscenities about Donald Trump and white people. While yelling obscenities about Donald Trump and white people. While yelling obscenities about Donald Trump and white people.
White people, boy. Bitch.
Now, I think it's pretty glaringly obvious that this was a hate crime. That they targeted this poor young man because he was white. But we're going to let the Young Turks spin this shit, and we're also going to see him scrape even a new bottom, even for the Young Turks.
Now, we have the video, or at least a snippet of, it was a 30-minute long video showing what occurred. It's very graphic, but I think it's important for everyone to see it, to understand the severity of the situation, and then I'll give you more details about who the perpetrators were and what type of punishment they face. Take a look.
Cut his off. Damn, you cut his scalped.
Put a whole patch out of boy.
Bound and beaten.
Look at him. Tied up.
Police say this 18-year-old white man with special needs was tortured live on Facebook for a full 30 minutes. Police tell CNN they are aware of more videos allegedly showing the man forced to drink from a toilet.
Okay, we're getting ready to hear the only outrage you'll ever hear in this video about this heinous act.
Let me be very clear. The actions in that video are reprehensible. That, along with racism, have absolutely no place in the city of Chicago.
Well said, sir. And just about anyone who's commented on this heinous act has showed the same outrage. But this is the Young Turks, folks. So buckle up, because some real dumbassery is getting ready to head your way.
At that point, police are alerted, and then cops later found him roaming the streets wearing nothing more than his shorts. Now, authorities believe that the 4 suspects here had met with him. He had willingly met with one of them because he was acquainted with that individual through school. And they stole some sort of van, and then he ended up in a home or an apartment, this place, and they had tied him up and said all sorts of hideous things to him while doing all sorts of hideous things to him. So the 18-year-old man is shown crouching in a corner. In the video carried on Facebook Live, his wrists are bound and his mouth is taped shut. As a woman shoots the video, 2 men cut the man's shirt with knives, then take turns punching him and stomping his head. One of the men cuts the victim's hair and scalp with a knife, and it appears the man is bleeding. About halfway through, someone says the man represents Trump and threatens to put him in the trunk of a car and put a brick on the gas. So investigators believe the man was targeted because he had special needs, not because he was white. Not because he was white, while yelling obscenities about Donald Trump and white people. While yelling obscenities about Donald Trump and white people.
White people, boy.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like he was targeted because he was white at all. It just gets worse, folks.
But regardless of that, they have been charged with a hate crime, and race could potentially play a role in that.
Well, based on the quotes, it seems like it did.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, folks. Looks like we may have made some progress here. He agrees that because of the quotes, it is a hate crime.
I mean, there's specific references to race there. These are the sorts of things that hate crime laws are supposed to create bigger penalties for.
Whoa, folks, I think we've made a real breakthrough here. Anna agreed. It's clearly obvious this was a hate crime. They targeted him because he was white. TYT, it's in front of you. It's the 800-pound elephant in the room. Let's go, run with it. Okay, TYT, let's do this. It's a hate crime. The story's in front of you.
Hate crime laws are supposed to create bigger penalties for.
Yeah, go ahead. Hate crime, yeah.
What is wrong? What is wrong with people?
Sick criminals.
It's incredibly, incredibly discouraging to know this kind of cruelty exists out there, especially when it comes to someone who's disabled, someone who can't defend himself, someone who is powerless.
Well, I got my hopes up there for a second. But yeah, they just completely discarded the fact that this was a hate crime because he was white. They found their narrative they're looking for. The fact that he's disabled and was powerless. So now that they've shifted the focus away from the fact that this was a hate crime because he was white, they can continue their rhetoric.
Yeah.
And
then to some extent you can sort of, like, when someone steals a car or something, I mean, obviously it's a crime, but you can think, okay, they did that one thing really fast or something. Or like there's crimes to take someone and to tie them up and to literally torture them. And specifically the new, like, Black Mirror-esque, I'm going to live stream it to Facebook thing, which, by the way, makes it way easier to convict them and to potentially convict them of a hate crime. So that was a good idea on their part. That's a special level of sick.
yeah, absolutely.
Horror.
There was a component to it where they thought, this is going to go viral, this is great. They were Facebook living this.
Well,
I mean,
right, I guess.
Think about that for a second, right? Where they think there's nothing wrong with the fact that we are literally torturing this guy who is powerless to defend himself.
Yeah.
They think, who cares? Who cares? This is going viral. I am so happy that they got caught, and I'm so happy that, look, here's the bright side of this. They are caught, and they're going to face severe ramifications for what they've done.
Now this is where it gets good, folks. In that 60-second clip that I just showed you is the only time they ever mentioned any objection to this heinous, horrible crime against this poor disabled man. But we're not even halfway through this video, folks. And there's plenty of people they're outraged at, and you might not be surprised who it is.
The Cook County State's Attorney's Office said it had filed felony criminal charges against 3 18-year-olds. So there they are. The names are Jordan Hill, Tesfaye Cooper, and Brittany Covington, as well as Tanisha Covington, 24. In addition to the hate crime charges, some of them also face additional counts of aggravated kidnapping, aggravated battery, and aggravated unlawful restraint. Police said they had found nothing tying the kidnapping to Black Lives Matter or any other group. I wanted to quickly mention that, okay, because there are certain pundits that are booked on cable news shows because they say outrageous things and it increases ratings and it gets eyeballs to watch their shitty programs.
Oh yeah, folks. It looks like we found a subject to get this stupid broad riled up. Yes, and it's not torturing a disabled man. It's the pundits she's pissed off at.
Okay? And then there are the police and the investigators who are actually dealing with the facts and the situation. So far, there is no indication that these people are part of any type of political organization, any type of group of people who are protesting. So far, nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Anyone who claims that it does, they're doing it either for attention, for a political agenda, or to smear a group of people who have legitimate concerns about the way policing happens in this country.
So there goes Anna telling you like it is through her big, fat, lipstick-painted mouth, defending this scum against any association with Black Lives Matter. But let's look at TYT's standards for associating someone with a movement like that. Okay, the title to the video I'm getting ready to show you is called Trump Supporter Threatens Uber Driver. Okay, let's see what makes this guy a Trump supporter.
An Arab American Uber driver was harassed in Astoria, Queens. Fortunately, he did capture it on video. Let's take a look.
Terrorist. I don't care, bro. Video. You're a loser. You don't even from here. So you and your family, you terrorist. Video all you want. You're an Arab. You're a loser. Sand. Exactly. Video. What is that gonna do? What is that gonna do? Trump is president. So you FBI, scumbag. They'll deport you soon. Don't worry, you terrorist. Oh my.
So during a road rage shouting match, the guy says, "Trump is president." That's it. And that makes him a Trump supporter. So now TYT has its narrative, and they can talk about the evil Trump supporter.
What it was definitely not was hostile. And when Trump calls it hostile, and then there's this cacophony of voices saying it's hostile, you were sending a message to the guy who pulled up next to Mohammed that it's okay to say these things. That is, at no point did Trump say, could have said, "Hey, I heard that. We heard what you said to Mike Pence. I just want to reassure people I'm president for all Americans." That's it.
In 2014, 2015, hate crimes in general were up by 7%, according to the FBI. These are simple facts. People are feeling that they can voice their hatred more often now because of Donald Trump. That's not even arguable. I'm not going to listen to your argument if you tell me that Donald Trump hasn't allowed for this spike.
According to the Young Turks, if you even mention Trump, you are a Trump supporter. And undoubtedly, Trump has emboldened Trump supporters to do bad things. But according to the Young Turks, nothing bad can be associated with Black Lives Matter. And all the anti-white and anti-cop rhetoric, it's not going to embolden anybody. Bullshit. Anyway, let's get back to the original video. When we left off, they were mildly objecting to the torture and kidnapping of a disabled man, and they were getting ready to rip into the right wing and corporate media.
No indication that these people are part of any type of political organization, any type of group of people who are protesting. So far, nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Anyone who claims that it does, they're doing it either for attention, for a political agenda, or to smear a group of people who have legitimate concerns about the way policing happens in this country.
And even trying to portray the guy as a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of that. Now, they mention Trump, so you can say that they have some sort of political objective. That's fine. There's actually evidence for that. There's no evidence for the rest of it. And so the people, by the way, who, when spreading this initially, immediately inject that into it, including Glenn Beck and a bunch of other sick individuals.
You heard right, folks. It's Glenn Beck who is the sick individual in this story. I told you it gets bad.
They are showing that at the end of the day, they don't care at all about this guy. They have no empathy for that victim. He is a pawn for them to attack a political organization that they want to attack. And that's why I tweeted earlier that there's something fucked up when black on white crime gives you an orgasm. These people, this is the best day of the year for them. For some people, for some sick individuals, when they see a particular type of crime, they think, oh good, I can now attack a group that is in no way implicated in this crime. These are people who not only have no empathy, but go so far as that in all their interactions, I mean, we get attacked every day, they mock the very idea of having empathy for people. They don't know this guy's name, they will never find out, they don't care. They will set up no GoFundMes. Tomorrow they will have forgotten about this individual because for them it is about a political objective and not true empathy for a guy who went through something that no one should ever experience.
Yeah, it's the guys who set up the GoFundMe pages who are the bad guys here. Anyway, they completely jump out of the subject and ran on about the corporate media and defending Black Lives Matter and all this bullshit. So I'll condense it for you a little bit.
Smeared time and time again in the media. But it's par for the course when it comes to our corporate media to smear protesters, because these are people who try to question authority. These are people who want to change a system that has been long established and works in the favor of those who work in corporate media and, you know, the political system that we have in place to keep them down. Also had lots of really negative things to say about Occupy Wall Street because they allowed the media to draw this narrative and smear Occupy Wall Street protesters and over again. And so we focus on fighting each other instead of trying to improve a system that benefits us all, not just black people, but everyone in society that could potentially be a victim of police brutality.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Unless there is some evidence indicating that these people have anything to do with Black Lives Matter, that is not part of the discussion.
Exactly. And look, people try to say, they just want you to think that Black Lives Matter is a violent organization. That is the only thing they want, That happened 18 months ago. Not only is Black Lives Matter not a violent organization, that's how goddamn non-violent it is, that even asshole racists who are trying to smear it have to go 18 months back to a couple of people involved in one parade in an organization that has independent chapters in every American city.
Well, dumb shit, thanks for letting us know who's the racist assholes in this story. Not these four greasy thugs, but the people who point out that Black Lives Matter is fucked up.
The amazing part about all of this is the very clear double standard, right? You can have our president-elect go up there, say on the podium during the election that he wants to punch people in the face, right? Advocating or...
No, you're finished.